Yo, yo, yo. I feel like when I say yo, yo, yo like that, I feel like I don't at S&P LARP. But anyways, um, today this is a different video. Unlike computer science or just me doing absolutely random shit like chess or playing Roblox like a chud, I'm actually doing red teaming today. And red teaming is basically finding vulnerabilities as a adversary and trying to exploit them. Obviously, I'm not doing this on a real company. That's illegal unless you've been given authorization to do so or you're part of a bug bounty program. And also, most of these bug bounty programs are like you can't disclose like how you did it and everything like that. But I'm just gonna do it on the lab because there's certain things that red team can do, but I kind of want to get into like the API side and like exploring web applications because I worked with low level malware development, like developing malware like viruses and trojans on like actual computers. Like it sure is grand. Like the only surface I've touched with malware when it comes to APIs is like creating WebSockets and like attaching APIs and like having like a server connected to the malware essentially. But like actually doing web application, like it makes me realize how easy it is for people to exploit. Oh, I have to sign in. Oh my days. Oh my god. Ah. I'm just gonna create a new account. I won't even lie, bro. I'm just creating a new account. Oh, what email is this? Russ Sussy Group. I'll use the Russ Sussy business email. I'm sure no one will give a shit. Please check your email. I really love companies that do stuff like that. I love when they ask you to confirm your email before you can even set up anything. And the reason why, holy shit, that is a fucking large ass password, bro. That is insane. I'm not even gonna memorize that, bro. Hold on. I'm gonna have to be a Discord mod. Load up Discord. I'm not even gonna be logged into Discord. Oh my god. Oh. This ain't real. 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 Okay, I'm just gonna put this into this Discord group chat, and I'm just gonna transfer it. Oh my god! Wait, I'm so stupid. No, 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 no. I'm stupid, bro. I forgot that the Apple ecosystem is synced to iPhone, so essentially, what I've just pasted is what I copied from my phone. That is why Apple ecosystem is so cool. Matter of fact, I actually made a way where you can sync it up with Windows 11. And now it's very unconventional and unportable. Like the setup process is like very fucking tedious. But the idea is right. You you set up a shortcut on your phone and it detects when it the shortcut automatically executes when it detects a notification with a keyword like code or alt message or anything like that. And basically what it does, right? Um what it does is it sends a post request with an authorization header and all that lot to to my own API. And what I've made it so that every 5 seconds on my computer, or unless I okay, sorry, keep in mind, it will do a get request to that exact same route, and it will just see, oh, is there a new code in that? Now, obviously, it's very unconventional because you're sending five, but I also think I'm doing WebSocket, but I don't think WebSocket is even possible doing like that. I was also thinking of doing webhook. I mean, that could have worked. Where am I? I'm in race condition. Row. Exploiting a mass assignment vulnerability. Access the lab. Let me launch the big burp. The big burp. The big burp. Yeah, I've only downloaded. I'll be so 100. I only downloaded it just now on this laptop. Like I have it on my main workstation. I'll continue with community, bro. Bro, burp is like 400, bro. 400 just for professional cybersecurity analysis tools. Like, half of the professional stuff that you can do in a burp, you can just find it on a command line interface tool. I don't need that. I don't care about this. All right. First of all, let me just close this because I don't need it. But so what we're gonna do is, first of all, we're gonna open up a browser. I'm also I'm gonna set the scope of our recon to this URL, which is basically the lab. So we're gonna do reconnaissance, and we're basically just going to use a proxy to check everything. Now, I've done some of these API ones. I haven't done this one yet, I don't think. But anyways, I'm gonna remove this from scope because the security lab header is absolute junk. You don't need this. This is not even anything near um the the lab. It's just there. But I think it updates on the webhook. Like the webhook detects when you've breached the system or whatever. So in this lab, you need to find a to buy a lightweight L33T weather jacket. You can log in using the following credentials. Okay. Let's I'm gonna talk to you about my thought process and everything like that. And basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna figure this out together. So it's Weiner Peter. Oh, what a great fucking name, bro. So, as you can see, obviously I'll create an account, but what's really interesting is we can basically just look at the proxy and look at what we're doing here. So, obviously we're doing a bunch of logins and then my account and then it's doing ID. That's fine, but what we're mostly focused on is this leather jacket. So let's look at this leather jacket. This leather jacket looks sick. I want a leather jacket. Add to cart. My account. What I'm basically doing here right now is I am just doing the normal flow. Obviously, I don't have enough store credit, but what I want to learn is I want to get all the main API requests done, so we can take a look at what we're trying to do here. So, obviously, let's trace it out now. Being new to API, when I first learned API testing, I was so like lost, but if you break it down, you really get to learn it, and obviously there's a lot way more stuff like intruder and everything, decoder. I haven't even touched those. I have touched intruder a little bit, but um, for what I think, you use intruder for enumeration. Anyways, but repeater is really cool, and also intercept. I really like the idea of intercept. I still don't know the proper use case for it. I'm still new to red teaming, but anyways, so let's look. So we clicked on product ID 1 and we did a get request. This get request and it returns HTML. It's gonna render it. It's basically just a jacket. Okay, cool, amazing. We also did a cart check. No, we posted the cart. Wait, what did we post the cart? Oh yeah, we did a post. So when we clicked the add the cart button, it did a post request. With adding product ID 1 being the leather jacket, and then I'm guessing, did I go back to it maybe? Yeah, I probably went back to it. I don't know why I double checked my account ID. That's interesting. Cart. So it's getting cart. It just tells me what I have and everything. Okay, that's interesting. API checkout. So we do get request here, and well, we can actually see that it's returning JSON because when you get a return, sometimes it's gonna have a header of what data you're expecting. So the content type here is JSON, an object language. So we can actually see details about this: item price, quantity, name, product ID, chosen products. Okay, post. Let's look at this post request now. This post request is API checkout. That's interesting. So this post request is getting a response of 201, which is a code for creation. But what's really interesting is it's sending JSON information over, and what it's doing is it's sending over the information from the cart, which is the product ID and the quantity. So if I was to change the quantity, the idea is that it'll send another post request to my cart, to the slash cart route, And then if I do, what's the button? Place order. In theory, it should do another post request to API dash checkout and with the quantity too. So that means there's a missing assignment here. There's missing assignments. So item price, obviously, that's one of them. Product ID, actually no, name, yeah, those are one of them. What's really interesting though is there's a chosen discount, and when the idea with missing assignments, if we go to the lab, right? It's mass assignments. Mass assignments can identify hidden parameters, and they can be used to basically get what you want. And now, obviously, this if you saw this in production on an actual website, then I'd be so shocked. But some websites do have these in production, and sometimes you can even exploit chain them too to do what you want. Um, so let's see what we're gonna do here. My my methodology is right. What if I do an API checkout request, but there's a hidden parameter that isn't there, but you can see it in the response header when you do a get to this route, and that is this. But before that, I want to do another thing. I want to check another thing. I want to check what options do we actually have when it comes to working with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to send an API request to this header, but we're not going to do get. We're not going to send data. We're not going to ask for a content type or any refers and anything like that. We're going to do an options request, and we're just going to see what's going to return, whether there's any other thing. So it only allows post and get. So that means the only allowed options are post and get. There's no put, delete, hold, or whatever like other code options there is. So if we were to, I'm assuming if we get checkout, it's going to be unauthorized. Yeah, no session in request. So what we have to do is we have to hijack my current session, and sessions are identifiable through the cookie, which is online free here. Now all this other stuff is like probably unnecessary. Referrer, unnecessary. Exit, I don't know. Priority, I don't even know what that does. User agent, that's basically what you're who you are. Accept language. It's all just market identifiable information. But anyways, let's go back to the repeater. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hijack my session key here from the cookie, as you can see here, online free. I'm gonna send this, and in theory, it should work. Okay, perfect. So when we do this get request, right, what it's saying is the chosen product I have chosen is product ID 1, name, quantity, price, and there's no chosen discount. However, if we do a post request, let's just do a post request. Yeah, so what's expecting is it is expecting JavaScript. No, not JavaScript. It's expecting JSON. So I'm just gonna put this JSON here, right? And let's send it there now. Key order, key chosen products undefined. So let's copy over chosen products here, and just copy this over. And send. Ooh, headline 2 expected. What? Oh, that's why. Ah, yeah. Now I see why now. Let me just why is that raw? Go back to pretty. What the fuck? Okay, let me repaste that in. Okay, you know what I'm actually going to do? Instead of that, I'm just going to send this over to the repeater. It's actually wasting my time. So if we go to repeater and we go to 2, so this is essential. But let me get rid of all this dumb shit here. We don't need this. We literally need these 3 lines. Send this request, and in theory, so yeah, we've basically hijacked. So what stops another adversary from, let's say, fucking Ukraine or Russia or something like that? I just said Ukraine and Russia because I've seen a lot of hackers on from there. But let's say an adversary from Russia, literally, all they need to do is hijack your session key, which identifies who you are, and then just does stuff under your name. Obviously, now a lot of production databases and all production companies, obviously they're gonna have extra security systems in place and all that to counteract that. For example, Roblox, for instance, they they actually check the IP address and if it correlates with the IP attached to that cookie session. Obviously, this let's say this IP was from Dublin, but if let's say a guy from San Francisco hijacked my cookie session, made a request with that, but the IP request came from San Francisco. Obviously, that's a interesting flag. So they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this guy might be sketch. Let's just double check with the fella and also lock him out for account security. But this is a lab, by the way, so like obviously it's not gonna be this expertise unless I'm doing some crazy CTF, but I doubt it. So another thing is there's a hidden parameter here, and what I want to do is I'm gonna copy this and I want to see can I override the discount amount, and if so, we can get a free leather jacket. I'd be so excited. Let me send this request. Insufficient funds. Okay, that's interesting. If it was overridden, if it wasn't allowed, it would have errored, but it didn't. So in theory, if I set this to 100, I should have a free leather jacket. And boom, we got a leather jacket. And we have solved the lab. We have successfully bought a leather jacket, guys. So yeah, that's a mass assignment. It's basically the idea of checking for hidden parameters and in the API and seeing if they're edible or not. And we can see here, this is what you would need to know. So how to identify hidden parameters, how to exploit mass environment vulnerabilities, why mass assignment may result in parameters. For instance, let's go find hidden parameters, mass assignment vulnerabilities. Mass assignment vulnerability, also known as kind of inadvertently create hidden parameter. It occurs when software firmware automatically bind requests to fields on an internal object. So you can actually change. So the internal object is represented by the parameter, and you can use that to and like inadvertently, in theory, like it shouldn't cause handles because like you should have middleware and everything like that. But people that should like the slide. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of it. Should we do another lab or no? Nah, I look in study for my test and everything, so I'm gonna stop now. Alright, thanks for watching.